You ready, B? Let's go get him. Look for me, young B.
So yeah, how did you and Rashod meet?
It's back in the 4th or 5th grade.
We started in, I believe, like 3rd grade. Our teachers were having sex at the time.
Elementary school, James Hurst. I think it was 94, 95. One of the best school years. We had Mrs. Bullman. She was a great teacher. I don't know if she was a man or a woman because she had an Adam's apple. So that was kind of weird for a woman to have an Adam's apple, but she did have a child, so.
I remember she did look rather pretty, but I was like very shy. So I never say nothing, but during Valentine's Day, I did like write like a little note. You know, used to put out, you know, candy in people's bags. I put like a blow pop in with a little note that says like, you know, I like you, like secret admirer type stuff. Yeah, I was real corny and shy.
Yeah, that. Anyway, we met in elementary school. Rashod was a really quiet kid. He hung out with this one kid that was of a different race, and that was the only person he hung out with. I don't remember him being around anybody else. I just remember him staying to himself and being really quiet, so I didn't really talk to him much because I didn't think he liked black people.
But I always said that she was gonna be mine one day, and I always get what I want.
So that's pretty much how that went. If we fast forward about how many years? That was 95?
Like 15.
About 15 years fast forward. 2010. I was actually having a party for my graduation at my cousin's house.
Alright, so I got there, and I was getting pretty drunk, like rather tipsy. Shout out to Sean and Darnell for like the best beer run ever. It was the most hilarious thing ever. So we got there. I seen, you know, this chick in the corner who like she had an attitude, but I don't know what.
To me and say, hey, I remember you. Oh, I think I remember you from somewhere. And I was like, okay. So I'm thinking he's gonna say like, you seen me around. And he's like, you went to James Hurst. I'm like, who remembers me from James Hurst but a stalker?
And then I looked at her, and I was like, you look very familiar. And then she said her name was Keisha. I was like, you're an effing lie.
So it's like, yeah, that was me. And he told me his name. I was like, okay, I remember who he was. That was the little guy who didn't like black people.
Then proceeded to have a crazy night, throwing, you know, wine shots back. So I was pretty drunk probably after that. But I remember them playing like some game like Sleepers or something like that. And pretty much they were trying to get me naked, but I wasn't falling for it. Because I don't think I had drawers on that day.
From that day, actually later on that night we talked for a little while, and then he was so drunk that the night ended with him holding a trash can in his hand that my best friend put on his lap.
So before I completely passed out, you know, we just had a little conversation. And I was like, and even while I was drunk, I had drunk thoughts like, you know, she's cool. I need to try to find her or get her phone number before she leaves. But then the alcohol took over and I passed out on the couch. And after she left, I ended up throwing up wine on the carpet, which I don't think I ever paid them niggas anything for the carpet, but anywho.
And that was the end of that night.
So next day I went to the house and I was completely hungover. Like, didn't leave the bed all day. So I was thinking like, yo, I need to find her. So I was being proactive, and I was like, you know what? Where can I find her at? I was like, you know what? everybody's on Facebook. Why don't I look there?
Maybe the next day or so, it was the next day, he stalked my friend's Facebook page to find out who I was because my page is private. But he went down my friend's friends list to see if I was a friend with them, and then found me and sent me a message on Facebook.
Some people might call that being stalkers. I call that being aggressive.
And just simple message, and the first thing I said was, well, you know, we could be friends, but I'm not looking for a boyfriend, so.
We talked, and then she fed me some BS about her being busy. Who really believes that? You know, like, you know, mind if I get your number so we could talk sometime? She like, sure, but, you know, I'm just so busy, you know, blase, blase, blah. Like, who really cares about all that?
And so, I guess we talked for a couple of days, and because I was so busy at that point in my life, you know, I told him that, you know, I didn't want him to feel like I was blowing him off because I was so busy, but he just needed to know. So I gave him a lot of preliminaries for no reason.
We got, you know, we was texting. We were doing the texting thing for a while. Texting and talking. Had a nice conversation, so we decided to meet up. And then she told me she was a vegan. Not like, how am I gonna plan a date if she a vegan? She don't eat nothing. Not like, we could just go get a bag of lettuce or something and make salads. But I like, let's go to Red Star. They have, I don't know, fettuccine, or that's cheese. Fried cheese in it. They got something green.
And it was so funny because the whole time we were there, Rashod was doing something weird with his eyes. He was looking around like some ex-girlfriend was gonna pop out and like, you know, bash us or something.
And she's saying I was looking all over the place, but I really wasn't. I just like to be aware of my surroundings.
So it was kind of weird, but at the same time, it was like one of the best days ever. It was the longest date I have ever been on in my life. I think we were there for about 4 or 5 hours.
And then I couldn't really get a vibe for if she, you know, liked me or not. You know, it was just weird. I like, you know, we've been here for 4 hours, so that's a positive, but she just real standoffish, so I don't know how to really play this, so.
But it was great, you know, I didn't want to leave.
It was like very rainy outside, and I had a fresh bald head, so it was cold. My head was probably like, had a little steam or something on it. So, walked to the car, and then I was like, I don't really know how to play this. Should I go in for the kiss? Should I go for the hug and like grab the booty cheeks?
And so I guess I left there with mixed feelings because, of course, I was, you know, in a different state. I wasn't really looking for anyone in particular at that time, and, you know, I just really wanted someone to have fun with, a good friend, and that's pretty much what happened with that. So the funniest part of that night, though, is when we were walking back to the car, and Rashod gave me a church hug, you know, the little pat like this. Yeah, when you stick your butt out and give a person a hug, he gave me one of those. I almost thought he was going to just shake my hand. It was kind of weird. So that was the funniest part of the night.
That was pretty much it. Yeah. That was a wrap after that. Locked it down.
All I need in this life is sin. It's me and my girlfriend. Me and my girlfriend.
Down the ride to the berry.